Spark the Electric Jester 3 is an amazing indie platformer that somehow manages to excel at every aspect of game design exceedingly well. From its appealing art direction to the fast-paced 3D platforming, everything in this game just oozes love and style, and that cannot be felt any more better than in the game's soundtrack. Spark 3's OST is some of the best fast-paced and energetic music that you'll find in this genre, and in this video, I'm going to rank my top 10 personal favorite tracks from the game. Only covering level themes, of course, because obviously all the tracks in the game would not be able to fit into the top 10. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Man, it's good to be back. Up first in the list, we have Protest City. Not one of the most memorable tracks from the game, but one that is still amazing, of course. Protest City benefits from that amazing guitar riffs at the beginning that leads into its techno melody halfway through the beat. The guitar motif in this game is used for almost every level theme in the game, and in Spark 3, it is perfected. Building upon what Spark 2's OST had to offer, this game mainly focuses on a SA2 style song variety, with each stage song representing the atmosphere of the level itself. And Protest City is an amazing example of this. With its chaotic riffs and guitars throughout the solo and melody, it perfectly matches the chaotic nature of the stage itself, with the robots, constantly going everywhere, and the protest, ironically, being the main gimmick of the stage, is mimicked greatly, with the guitar riff bridge in the middle of the song greatly contrasting the solo. An amazing first entry and not bad of a song, just all the other songs in the game are so much more exhilarating and fast-paced that this had to be the lowest in the list. Next up on this list, we have Alpine Carrera. Being the first level theme you hear in the game, I feel like it perfectly eases you into the atmosphere and overall tone of Spark the Electric Jester 3. With its fast-paced techno music slowly building into the main melody of the theme, those synths do a great job of adding to the tension of this mysterious car chase. And then they transition greatly into the main melody of the song, which just oozes a nostalgic retro 80s feel to it. Very reminiscent of that old funk aesthetic from the OSTs of Sonic before and after the sequel. By the way, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video and for the last song entry, most of the level themes in this game are made by an artist named Tud, somebody who lakefepard commissioned for most of the songs in this game. And I gotta say, his work on this game is fantastic. If anyone wants to check out his other stuff, I'll leave a link in the description. But back onto the main song, when it finally gets to the bridge of the song where all the instruments soothe yourself into a more mellow, dramatic melody, it just feels so calming and nostalgic. Like this game is like, hey, we got your back. It's time to just sit back, relax, and have some fun. Definitely an amazing choice for the first level theme you feel in the game. I know for one that when I first played the demo, I knew Spark 3 was going to be a masterpiece the moment I heard a song like this. On to number 8, we have Terminal Village. Man, this song just oozes happiness and nostalgia. Like, I know what lakefepard was going for with the actual first stage in the game, that being one where you're not driving a car, and he nails it perfectly. This song is just an exemplary extension of Terminal Village as a stage. With its vast open landscapes and its suburban area-like feeling to it, it just screams nostalgia, and the track accompanying it is perfectly matched to it. I I especially like those BGM melody breaks at the beginning. Really adds to the retro feeling of this game, like it was a kart racer made in the 90s. Also, the bridge where the trumpets split into their own melody with the percussion playing in the background is just amazing to listen to, especially if you're on a jog or something. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but lakefepard somehow perfectly timed the song so that when that part plays, you're on the long winding road path with the open fields above you, and the open lanes spreading as far and wide as you can see, just waiting for you to speed on. It's quite the exhilarating experience, and one of the main reasons why I say people should buy Spark the Electric Jester 3, if I haven't already made that obvious. One thing I want to say before I move on to the next track is that Terminal Village is actually not made by TUD, it's made by the Paul brothers, people who worked vastly on the second game, Spark the Electric Jester 2. I'll also leave a link to them in the description below, because their work is also amazing. By the way, be sure to check out my other videos on the OST of Spark 1 and 2, as I'm sure you'll love the songs in those games as well. But enough plugging, time to move on. Now, for number 7, we have Rivera, and this song came as a complete surprise to me on my first playthrough of Spark the Electric Jester 3. Here we are in Dryan Desert after a banging track that I'm going to mention later in this video, and then this track comes out of nowhere and just blasts you full of serenity and grace. It's like if Spark just entered a whole new world entirely and is now having to explore this lost civilization. And this theme plays for a water factory of all things, but it somehow works, with the amazing flutes and acoustics being supported by that hard percussion, and when it reaches that bridge finally, it just feels absolutely mesmerizing. Like you're flowing through a magical ocean, and it still keeps some of that hard rock aesthetics from the rest of the game in there just to keep you on your feet. Definitely the most exotic level track in this game, and it used to be much higher on this list before I listened to the entire OST multiple times, so believe me when I say, it only gets better from here, and Rivera is just the breaking point of when all the songs in the game become what I would like to call God tier. Just let that intro sink in. For the next one on this list, we have Utopia Shelter, another completely surprising track that I was not expecting on my playthrough of Spark 3. The intro to the song just oozes old retro aesthetics and perfectly sets the tone for the stage and how insanely long it's going to be. Accompany that with all of the amazing synth work done in this track, and part 1 of Utopia Shelter is easily the best part of the entire, series of tracks. I'm just a huge sucker for hard EDM music, and this is some of the best I've heard in a good while. When it finally reaches its bridge, you can actually hear some voice work done in the track, with some subtle lyrics being heard in the back of your ear, probably intentionally done so it can make you feel more anxious and revved up when you're going through this level. As if Clarity is secretly sending signals into your mind and that this game you're playing is not truly the real world. That's obviously just my interpretation, but if that was done intentionally, then lakefepard is really good at subtle storytelling. Or should I say TUD is, for making such an amazingly aesthetic a track for this final level. Definitely one of the best final themes I've heard in a while. We'll say now, from here on, the top 5 tracks in Spark the Electric Jester 3 are some of the best level themes I've heard out of the entire series, rivaling with the first game, which, as you know, I think has the most high quality level tracks out there. For number 5, we have Dryan Desert, Another game in the demo which track absolutely blew me away and got me super hyped for this game. It starts off with those amazing guitar riffs in the beginning, perfectly matching the grind rail that you fall upon in the beginning of the stage. Like I said earlier in this video, the tracks in this game felt like they were made for each of the stages. They somehow perfectly mimic the aesthetic and atmosphere of each and every level in the game. It's honestly quite insane how perfectly they match. Tud and lakefepard, you have outdone yourself with this game. But on to the song itself, it just, you have to listen to yourself. It just sounds amazing. Those synthesizers once again show their face again, and they're used to probably the best effect in this song. And like I said before, the ups and downs of the melody as they go throughout the bridge of the song perfectly mimic the nature of the stage, with Spark going up and down grind rails and through the canyons. The fast-paced nature of this song is probably more subtle than most of the other stages, but it builds that back up once you get to the guitar riffs back at the halfway point of the song. With the percussion slowing down and taking more of a backseat in the song overall, it uses that subtlety to slowly build up to the main melody of the second half of the song, which just blows it out of the water. That guitar solo, man. What's up with Sonic-like platformers having the best guitar work in music? It's just absolutely insane. For number 4 of this list, we have Protest Prison, my originally most favorite track in this game. It definitely still holds the title as a high tier track in the game, with its fast-paced intro and those drums rocking it from the beginning. If you didn't know, this song is actually inspired from Shadow the Hedgehog's Prison Island, which many fans of Sonic and Spark will immediately realize upon listening to Protest Prison. That does not deter from the fact that this track just absolutely oozes style. If anything, it improves upon Shadow the Hedgehog's Prison Island with those amazing guitar riffs and its more fast-paced nature. The guitar in this song, though, just goes absolutely more hard than every other song in the game. It has the best guitar riffs by a long shot, and when it reaches the bridge and finally builds up to that amazing climax, you can just feel it, especially when the song plays during the burning section of Protest Prison, the stage. It just is exhilarating and hypes you up to get through this level as fast as you can. Not gonna lie, if you're listening to the song on the go, it's kind of hard to resist running to it. Because it's just that amazing. I knew I had a good reason to initially put it as my favorite track in Spark 3, but unfortunately, the top 3 tracks in this game are just something else absolutely to behold entirely. For number 3 on this list, we have Pacific Abyss, the Eggman land of Spark the Electric Jester 3. Man, when lakefepard first dropped that exclusive trailer of Pacific Abyss on YouTube, I just couldn't even focus on the level itself because I was too busy humming along and jamming to the song. It's that good. This track just screams final level, and its melody and those guitar riffs once again showing their face, it brings you into its atmosphere perfectly and makes you feel like you're infiltrating the CIA or something. Plus, those robotic synths make it sound alien in nature, almost like it's trying to intimidate you itself, but the guitar riffs have that familiar sound to you that makes you know, yeah, you're in the right place, it's time to go kick some ass. It does a great job of breaking that atmosphere and preparing you for the final section of the game, especially with Pacific Abyss, I'm pretty sure being the second longest stage in the game. And once you finally reach that bridge, once again, it builds up to the climax of the song brilliantly with the guitar riffs and repeated melody following it, until it just bursts with all the instruments playing the main melody, leaving you mesmerized, and then it follows back up with the soft beginning of the song again. A perfectly looped song in my opinion, as it's like a bomb just went off and it reset back to zero. Definitely a sleeper pick for best song in the game, but alas, we must move on. Now, Historia Interstellar is a special song because, like Lost Rivera, it came completely out of nowhere for me. Probably the second most exotic song in the game, this song sounds like it was made for a kart racer, with its beginning oozing that 90s retro aesthetic. And then when it finally breaks out to its main melody with those amazing synths, it's just so hyperventilative and energetic, it makes you want to get out of your seat and go on an adventure yourself. And as you can tell, the percussion in the song slowly building up to the amazing bridge of the song. I just gotta say, this song has the best bridge in the entire game, and it almost alone made it to my number one on this list, because oh my goodness, you have got to listen to it. It is just a masterclass in musical aesthetics. The tone of that entire section just leaves you ecstatic, like you're taking off, ironically, in a rocket ship. Like I said again, the songs in this game perfectly match the tone of the level. But I feel like Historia Interstellar's track is really special in the fact that it doesn't quite match it, but instead goes for a more orchestral feeling overall, which leaves the stage probably the most memorable in the game because of it. If only it matched the tone of the stage better, it might have made it to the top of this list, but I'm pretty sure you all can guess what the number one spot is already, just from the fact that I haven't mentioned it. Come on, it's the main trailer music for Sparky Electric Jester 3. Everybody knew it was going to be the top one on this list from the moment you started the video. It's my personal favorite space-themed song, and probably one of my favorite songs out of any 3D platformer. Historia Hysteria, as a song and level, is when I started to recognize that Sparky Electric Jester 3 is a masterpiece. Being the song is a masterclass in aesthetics alone, like I said before, it perfectly matches the tone of the stage. Just listen to the percussion work and synths done in this piece. It's almost surreal what type of journey this song takes you on, kinda just like the actual stage.
From its hard synth-like beginning to the techno middle part of the bridge, to its hard percussion and hip-hop beat halfway through the song, to its orchestral ending, Hysteria song is just a treat to listen to as you go through this amazingly complex maze. If this song played on a space exposition, I'd probably be the first individual to sign up. And apparently I'm not the only one on this list, as many people of the Spark fanbase believe this to be the best song in the game. Hell, lakefepard must believe it so himself, as he put it as the main trailer music, along with Historia and Interstellar. In fact, all of the top 5 songs in this list were used as trailer music for the game, ironically. But that's going to do it for my top 10 list of Sparky Electric Jester 3's level themes. I hope you enjoyed these rankings, as it was quite cathartic for me to go and listen to the soundtrack again after not playing the game for a while. Tell me if I placed anything too high or too low. Tell me what your personal favorite track is in the game, as I'm really excited to see what the consensus on this game's OST is. I'm pretty sure you all find this soundtrack amazing. But that'll do it for this video. It was pretty fun to make, especially the part where I got to the top 5, because man, those tracks are just such bangers. But I'll see you next time on the Plexi Tier channel. Peace.